What's up, everybody? This is the Epic Tiki podcast. I'm Luke Soin, and my guest today is Mark Burg.
Hello. Thanks
back.
for having me.
I didn't know it was over. You're welcome. It's an honor and a privilege for you.
Yes, it is. It's nice to see another human being.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody anymore.
I know you were just telling me you spend like 14 hours in your room every day.
Something like that, yeah.
And that's not including sleep time. That's just daytime.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me just working on school stuff and in my new channel, so it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Studying and all that, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then, COVID decided, I should probably not go anywhere also. Like, I think, honestly, in the last year, you're like the fifth person I've actually seen outside of my house besides my family. That's
crazy.
And
yeah.
one other friend. Yeah.
That's crazy. I feel like that's more for you, like, that's because you're busy, though, right? Like,
yeah, that is a big part of it.
But, because we were just talking about all this, so whatever. But I mean, like, some people are like, I don't leave my house for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even, I don't know. I don't want to, like, get into, it's just, my thing is,
about it.
Well, it's just, like, I don't want people to get all, like, weird about it. I'm not trying to politicize it or anything, because it's not. It's like, but if you're not at risk and you're not going to transfer it to people, like, just be safe when you go out. Like, wear a mask and put the hand sanitizer
I always
on.
Wear a mask. I was driving wearing my mask. Like, I showed
That's
up.
That's too much.
I showed up and you were asking, should I put on my mask? I was like, no, you're fine. I'm just.
Do you wear it in the car?
Sometimes. Like, sometimes I just end up putting it on, not really thinking about it, because my brain has now become accustomed to, you're going out, put on your mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, I barely go out and see anybody. And I did for like the first 6 months, my roommates and I were like we're not going to have people over.
Yeah.
One of my roommates, the only place he would go is over to his girlfriend's for the weekend.
But she would go to Costco and get all the free samples and make out with people.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
She's a fucking whore. That's what's funny too. Is like some people be like, I'll see one person, but then that person they see is like just they don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, we actually had a COVID scare because
I had like 2 or 3 when I lived at Allie's house.
Yeah, and it's gonna happen. We all knew it was an eventuality. Eventuality? Is that a word? Someone look it up.
I've heard that word before.
Eventuality?
Eventuality.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, he went over to visit his girlfriend, and her roommate she got COVID.
Uh-huh.
And so he came back and he was like, well, girlfriend's roommate has COVID. And we were like, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
And one of my roommates was really mad, and I was like, well, there's nothing to like we'll just go get tested and deal with it.
Yes.
That's all we can do. And luckily we all tested positive, even his girlfriend, or negative. Not positive, Jesus Christ. No, we were all
Luckily
negative.
we all had it.
I had to go through the drive-thru at CVS and put the cotton up my nose, and the lady went further, and I was like, oh God, no, and just like
she's like, rape yourself.
Yeah, it was one of those moments of like your brain goes, we're not supposed to go further. I've never gone past this point, and then I went through like,
like, I'm not pulling my brains out to go live in a pyramid for the rest of eternity. I'm trying to. I have stuff to do after this.
Yeah, no, it's
you have to go up high enough that one tear comes out.
Yeah,
that's the rule I developed for myself. Is you have to do.
How many times have you gotten tested?
I've gone 3 or 4 times.
One more time and it's free.
Really?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Punch card.
Yeah.
No, the worst thing about it, though, is you're in the drive-thru.
Yeah.
And, like, there's someone behind me. So it felt like when you go to, if you get fast food, you're not sure what you want, and you look up and see someone behind you, like, I got to hurry up. And trying to safely but quickly shove this Q-tip all the way through my sinus.
Yeah, they make you a scientist all of a sudden because you have like this vial, and you got to like put it in there and make sure you don't don't drop it or something, and then they have to give you another one, and you're an asshole. And
yeah, the whole thing was just. But anyway, yeah. Long story short, I don't go anywhere. I've barely seen anyone.
Yeah.
So I feel safe doing this. I don't.
I'm safe. Like there's some things I do that are risky, I guess. Like
risky or risque?
Both.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been buying some lingerie for me.
Oh.
It's not for anyone.
You got to do what makes you feel good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I have a full body mirror in the other room over there now. So
and strut and turn and hips.
I'm actually practicing my left turns for the move where you pull your underwear out of your pants in Zoolander.
It's gonna be big.
Yeah,
game changer.
Because I still can't turn left.
Not an ambi-turner?
I'm not an ambi-turner.
Not an ambi-turner.
I just watched that because when I moved in here, I only had I didn't have the internet for like literally 2 weeks or 3.
Oh damn!
It was
really
way too long. Yeah, because it was this whole dumb thing where there's a pole that has fiber and it's in 2 houses over in their backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the guy came one day and he was like, "Oh, I can't get in their yard. It's closed and they're not home. So bye." And I was like, "What? No, like that's figure it out, you know." And then so I had to reschedule. Then that took another week. Then they canceled that one.
Oh god.
And then another week and they finally came and I had to like get the neighbor's phone number and text him, and then he's a weirdo. And so then that took like 6 or 7 hours for the AT&T lady to like climb the pole, bring the thing over, like, and then she drilled the wrong hole in my wall over there.
Oof.
So like, and then she's like, "I might have nicked your water heater. I don't know." So they filed a claim, and now I had to hire a contractor who hasn't gone back to me. Like, dude, it's already. And then my fence blew up. Like, home ownership is like all the tropes are real.
Yeah.
It's like 100%. As soon as you have it, like, you know, there's something breaks, and then I called my insurance the first day. Bless you. What are you doing?
He was eating the thing.
That's weird, Nacho. Yeah, so it's great. I don't know why I was telling you all that, but then then the other day, like my house, like I don't know what it was. It was like 2 nights ago, and there was just like this boom that shook my house. It was like 1:30 a.m. I'm watching Tropic Thunder. So I'm already hearing booms and like, you know, whatever. But it was like over there, and it just like a bass, like a bomb exploded under the street is what it sounded like. The Ninja Turtles were fighting the Foot Clan, and like someone threw a grenade at somebody.
Damn.
And the house shook, and like Nacho, I know I didn't imagine it because Nacho was like, you know, like he shot up and he was like, "What the fuck was that?" And then I texted my neighbor the next day, the one that has the pole, and he goes, I go, "Did you feel like a shake or like a boom at like 1:30?" And he's like,
"Yeah, I was flexing in the mirror."
No, worse. he fucking goes, "Oh, sorry, I'll try not to jack off at 1:30 a.m." I was like, "What the?" He's like a 55-year-old man.
Hey, at least he's funny.
I met him and he was wearing bike shorts. Like,
no bicycle either. It's the weirdest thing.
It wasn't. He was going to work or something. I don't know. He's weird.
They're not. As somebody who's ridden 3 centuries, they're not comfortable.
3 centuries?
Yeah, 100 miles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like you're 300 years old.
Yeah, man. Fucking bathing in blood.
Oh, yeah, man.
No, it's like the shorts are. They are kind of comfy.
I like track pants, you know, like Adidas.
They're like yoga pants, except there's a cushion for your butt because you're sitting on a hardened piece of plastic.
You have to bring part of the chair with you when you sit on a bike.
Yeah,
it's
the worst. Anyway, what was it? Did you ever find out what the explosion was?
No, actually, though, I did have a next door. I have a next door now, and this guy.
Oh, you mean the racist neighbor checker?
Yeah. Yeah, and since I moved into this house, I'm suddenly wary of black people. I'm just kidding.
No, I just one of my when we moved, my roommates and I moved into the house we're renting. We got a letter saying, "Hey, you should join our next door." And I didn't join because all I could think was, why would I need to join next door? I don't really. We live in a great neighborhood, and
it is kind of it's fun to read.
Yeah,
that actually might be a bit we could do right now.
One of my roommates downloaded it onto his phone, and I said, "Why?" And he just said, "Bro, look at all the cringe." And he just started swiping through, and people going, has anybody seen the new Neighbors? He's got an awful loud motorcycle, and I think he's doing it just to be a jerk because he parks the motorcycle, and then it sits in the driveway for a minute, and then he turns it off.
Yeah, that sounds like my mom's neighbor.
Yeah, Karen, calm the fuck down. Move on with your life. It's 1 minute of your day.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
She's like, I was doing yoga, though. No, when I, like, a few days after I moved in, she goes, this guy, He goes, "Howdy, Luke. My name is Boop, and I'm your neighbor in Tahoe Park. I'm also one of the leads for Nextdoor in the neighborhood, so I help folks out if they need and help getting started when using this site." So right there, like, if that's the thing you do, like, what is wrong with you? Like, why do you think you need to be the guy? It's like running for public office. It's like anyone who wants to do it is not. I don't know. Maybe he's a good guy. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I guess you have to have some sort of moderator.
Yeah, it's just funny. It's like, did he nominate himself, or like, did we elect him?
I think there's supposed to be a single person running for your neighborhood, I guess. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I have no idea. And then, so I asked him, like, did you hear a boom at 1 a.m. last night? And he goes, yes, at 1:15 a.m. Do you know what it might have been? No, there's a lot of theories, but no one actually knows for sure.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Sewer mutants.
Sewer mutants for sure.
Godzillas.
Sewer people. If it was Godzilla, I feel like my house wouldn't be here anymore.
Go check out Godzilla safely in theaters.
Yeah. No, safely from your HBO Max app.
Don't go to theaters. We are lucky that we have the drive-in.
I went to theater last year.
During COVID?
Yeah, they were open.
Damn, you crazy.
No, there was like 3 people in the theater.
Oh, okay.
I went on like a Wednesday night at 10.
Yeah, I just don't think about those things anytime I...
Yeah.
Because I've wanted to go see a movie in theaters for so long. That was one of the things that I would do it's just...
it's an escape.
Yeah, I would just go see a movie by myself. My roommates thought it was weird. One of them thought it was weird. The other one was like... Yeah,
once you free yourself of that delusion that you have to go with someone... The movies are amazing.
It's so weird because everybody thinks, "Oh, yeah, you want to go with a friend to see a movie." But I mean, it's nice to sit with a friend, but when I really thought about it, I want to watch this movie. I'm not going to be talking during the movie. I'm just going to go by myself. It's fine.
Yeah, and also it's like you don't see a lot of movies because you couldn't go with someone.
Right.
So you might have been like, well, I have time. It's Wednesday at 10 a.m. and I'm not working today. I want to go.
Yeah.
But then you're like, well, no one can come with me. I guess I'll stay home and like jack off again. Like, it's like, don't just go and see Percy Jackson and the Olympians. It's okay. No one needs to know that you saw that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's fun. It was very fun. Yeah. I think the last movie I actually saw it was Dr. Sleep. That's how long it's been since I've gone to the theater.
That movie's pretty good.
I liked it. I enjoyed it very much. And I had a feeling that my roommates weren't going to enjoy it, so I just went, and one of them was like, I'll go with you. He's like, the last time I asked, you said no, so I'm just going to go. It's fine. I'm just going to have 2 beers by myself, watch this movie, come back.
Did he like it? Or
he didn't go.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just
but
me,
you liked it.
It was I enjoyed it. It was one of those. It was kind of my mental health. I want to get out of the house, just go somewhere, be around people, but not have to deal with people.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, that
you
was
want to feel like community without having to.
Yeah. So whenever Dr. Sleep came out was the last time I went to a theater.
I think it was like October, November.
2019.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
It's 2021. I have to keep reminding myself that.
You're right. Yeah, it does really feel like we lost a year, which is like the joke, or that's always what people say, like, "Oh, this year doesn't count," but it really doesn't. I mean,
no, it did. Plenty of time to do things from your home, I guess. I mean,
No, I know, but it's like we already.
I get the sentiment of.
Yeah. I mean, if you had a big trip to go on, you had to cancel it.
Yeah.
Or if any big life event, like if you were getting married, then your marriage either or your wedding either didn't happen or it happened and it was like lame.
Yeah, one of my best friends growing up, he now lives in Norway with his fiance, and they were supposed to get married last August.
Yeah.
And in Scotland. And it was really funny because it was one of those I was kind of one of the heads of getting everybody organized and planning so we could get a Airbnb and all that in Scotland, and
so you're the maid of honor.
Pretty much. No, me and my other friend, we all had bets about who was going to be the best man because our friend hadn't said anything. And then
he was like, I was kind of hoping you would all think you were, and then I wouldn't have to pick one.
Nobody brought it up with him or anything because we didn't want to make it awkward.
Yeah.
And then we were all wondering just because we thought, if one of us or however many of us need to get tuxedos, we got to go do that. So I messaged him and said, hey, no worries if it's not me or anything, but do you have a best man chosen? He went, yeah, it's my brother. You think I'm going to pick one of you fucks? And, oh, yeah, you got a brother. I forgot about that. But anyway, yeah, so I think it was about mid-February. I had booked everything for us, spent $6,000 on the Airbnb because it was a week in Scotland.
But people were going to pay you back, right?
Oh yeah, and everybody paid me immediately, but I still had to put $6,000 on my credit card.
Yeah.
And
That's kind of cool, though, because then you get points for whatever program.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a cool credit card,
yeah.
you know?
But it was
I have like
don't.
$320 Disney right now.
Oh. You can purchase anything at a participating Disney store with that?
Yeah, or when you go to like Disney parks, they give you like a little debit card and they load it up, and then when you
that's
you
cool.
just buy shit with it.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I've done that a few times where, like with my ex, we would like go to Disneyland and I would just pay for all the food with that, and then it was like we had free food.
Wow, you could get 3 churros with that $300.
No,
I know.
you get
There's
pretty
decent,
good.
yeah, you can actually get decent.
But yeah, it does get expensive. I don't know.
No. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Anyway,
$6,000 credit card.
yeah. So I did all these things, and we were getting ready to buy the flights, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And everybody was doing yeah, it's only going to be 3 months.
That's
max.
the weird part is I remember thinking, I listened to a podcast yesterday and they were talking about that, and I'm like, it's like, we all just thought, yeah, by the summer.
It was my initial guess when everything hit was it's going to be 2 months, just knowing how the world operates. This 2 weeks of everybody inside, it's not realistic. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then by the time May came around, I was saying the earliest it's going to be October.
Yeah.
Because it was getting worse and worse by then. And then October came around, and I went, if next summer things kind of return to normal, I will be shocked.
That has been my guess for a few months now. Is
it's not even going to be, this year is going to be weird. It's still
but it'll
be
be
weird.
It'll be less weird.
Hopefully by summer,
and
yeah.
Part of it too is like there's the vaccine, but I think like I'm not condoning or disagreeing, but this is just what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to be like, fuck this, I don't care anymore. And they're just going to go do shit. They're going to go.
No, absolutely.
People already. Dude, I go to the park that I live next to, and like if it's a nice day, there's like so many kids at the playground. There's basketball games. Like, I'm not saying no one gives a shit, but like people are over it.
And it's just unfortunate that there was a large population that decided, fuck all this. I want to continue doing things normally. I don't give a shit that there's actually a global pandemic happening. It's an Illuminati, whatever people were saying.
I fully blame the government and the administration we had, because if they had just been like, this is what we're doing, this is what the experts say, we're going to do it, then more people would have listened. But because there was all this doubt thrown into it at the beginning, it created this insane divide.
Yeah, so many things. They're saying, oh, it's just the flu. No, it isn't. It's not.
It's the Kung flu. It's not real. It's Chinese. Everything Chinese made is bad. Everyone knows this. I do it to my.
It's like the only thing my roommates and I say anymore. China.
Have you ever seen one of those supercuts where they just cut together him saying a word a bunch of times?
Yeah.
I saw this video and he was just like billions and billions and it just would keep cutting, so it's just him going and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions.
Well, yeah. But yeah, it really sucks because I'm now at that point nearly a year in where part of my brain is just going, fuck it. If nobody's going to comply with these things, why should I? Even though that's totally the wrong mindset to have about this thing. But no, it's not. Because I still am.
You can still like do what you're supposed to do. Like, yes, you might get made fun of for wearing a mask, but you can wear like if you go to an open mic, which I have done, and I just wear a mask when I'm not on stage, and then like everyone kind of is like, what the fuck? But also, like, those guys are dumb. Like, they should be wearing a mask. Yeah. Like, they're all hugging and, like, yelling at each other.
There's
and,
nothing
like,
wrong with it, yeah.
But what else is funny, last year, I remember I did one of the open mics at the park, and, like, everyone, it was, like, the first one I went to.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, like, 3 months after not doing comedy or 4 months. I was like, I need to do it.
Yeah.
So I went there, and everyone's all careful. We're in a circle that's all, like, big because no one's close to each other.
Yeah.
We're wearing masks. And we do the mic, and it's great. And then someone's like, hey, let's go to Tank House and get drinks. And then we all cram into a table.
At Tank House.
Outside. We're outside.
But still, you're right next to each other.
Exactly. And so I was just like, what are we doing? Like, this is... And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do all the distancing, but it's just funny, the hypocrisy of, like, let's do the stuff, but then, now we're going to have drinks and yell around this table at each other.
That's a big part of the reason I haven't been back into the comedy community because I know I would fall back into those things, and I didn't want to do it because those were the exact things I thought of.
Are you worried about getting it? Like, do you not want to, like...
Somewhat. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but I'm really careful.
Are you worried because you smoke, or you used to? You don't smoke cigarettes anymore, right? Or
I do. I'm trying to quit.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually working on quitting.
I've been working on quitting for 45 years.
Something like that. Yeah. No, I actually did. Like, I didn't bring.
Battery low. God damn it.
Okay, we could pause.
Yeah, we're gonna pause. And you know what? We have a sponsor, so we're going to cut to that. Whoa, guys. Got to stop the podcast real quick because I can't believe it as much as you can't believe it either. We actually have an honest-to-God sponsor. I'm not kidding. This is a real thing. We have a sponsor, and that sponsor is Digital Lizards of Doom, the graphic novel. It's an amazing graphic novel written by Gabriel Valentine, and the art is done by Ernie Nahara. And the only reason, I don't know how to pronounce either of those names properly. I hope I got it right. But you should check this out because it's a lot like Battletoads or Ninja Turtles. It's more like Battletoads because it's set in a sort of a intergalactic space world, and there's anthropomorphic animals and stuff. And it's really cool. So, if you would like to purchase this graphic novel, the graphic novel comes out on January 27th. Don't wait. Order it now. Use code EPICTIKI at checkout to get 15% off your order. You can also find it in local comic book shops. That's what they told me, so you should do that. Thanks for listening to the podcast. I'll see you guys. Well, keep listening. We're in the middle. Just keep listening to the podcast. Thanks.
Where were we? Yeah, I'm trying to quit smoking. Finally.
Yeah, that's good.
It's been 10 years of being a smoker.
Have you tried to quit before?
Yeah, I quit previously. I must have been 22, somewhere around there. I quit for about 6 months. And then something with work happened where I got stressed out. And I went, I'm going to go buy a pack. And I'm just going to have these in emergencies, which never happens. It never happens.
Yeah. It's just your brain finding a way to get back to the nicotine.
Exactly. So trying to do it again because smoking's bad.
I'm so glad that I never
Yeah,
started.
I do not recommend. One of the funniest things I learned was one of the excuses every smoker makes of smoking is, it helps calm my nerves. It makes me feel less anxious. But it turns out just giving yourself nicotine actually increases your anxiety.
Yeah,
so
all a stimulant, right?
Yeah,
like caffeine kind of.
And more than anything, when people, it helps me relax. Well, you could go outside and just hang outside for 5 minutes, and you'll probably feel just as relaxed as if you were.
Just do this.
Yeah, that's one of the weird things because I would
breathe.
always play Galaxy Heroes outside on my smoke breaks.
Is it noon?
Because it was something to do.
No.
And now it's just I'll go outside and not smoke and just sit there and play for 5 minutes, then go back in. Like just doing the things I normally would without a cigarette. It feels so weird.
Yeah, but it's good that you're trying because
don't smoke. Smoking's bad. Take it from someone who's been smoking for 10 years and now finally trying to do something about it. After several times I saw the doctor and she went, "You need to quit by the time you're 25." I'm like, yeah. And then she told me, she's like, "If you don't quit by the time you're 30, you're never gonna quit."
How old are you now?
28.
Okay.
So it was right in between. I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's just do it.
Probably shaved off a couple years at the end there.
Dude,
I'm just kidding. That's dark.
No, it is true. It's absolutely true. I noticed just my lung capacity absolutely is not the same as it used to be. I haven't been exercising nearly as much as I used to, but even I filmed a sketch for my channel where I was fighting against a team I didn't want to, so I yelled no, running through the hallway and then out my house. And it was maybe a 10-second sprint at the end.
Yeah.
And I got to the end and I was like, can somebody give me water?
They're like, do you have COVID? You're like, no, cigarettes.
Yeah, I'm sure my neighbors weren't happy because it took three takes, but of me just screaming no down the street.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
So you set your camera up outside and just filmed yourself? I didn't.
Yeah.
So Mark has a YouTube channel.
I do have a YouTube channel. Now.
We play this stupid game called Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
It's not stupid.
It's
advanced.
Called a gotcha game because they gotcha with the money. Have you ever heard that term? They use it on IGN all the time.
Oh no.
It's a mobile game. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's the thing where it's free. But if you want to get stuff quicker, you have to pay. But then when you pay for stuff, it's like a casino for some reason.
Yeah, it's not a game for impatient people because you will end up buying things because you want to accelerate through the game faster.
Yeah, but they do this evil trick to you where instead of just buying something and getting it, you maybe get stuff. Like it's like a
Yeah.
because it's like you can buy the currency in the game and then you use that to get the stuff you need like to level up your characters. But then when you buy
we
the
talked
stuff
about
to
this
level
last
up your
time.
character, probably. But no one watches the show, so maybe someone new is watching.
I watch.
Thank you. But see, this is like going to Luna's and like only the comics are watching your set.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we? We're just yelling at each other. But anyways, I'm just saying.
Luna's is a room to test your metal.
Yeah. Anyways, so like
yeah,
then when you spend the stuff that you paid money for, then you buy these little packs of like shards to upgrade your character.
Yeah, put gear on
and
your
you
characters.
maybe get you usually get the low amount and you might get a really good amount. Instead of just being like, here for $50 you get this. Which is what drives me crazy.
I
but
mean,
I've been
those
told
packs
that
do
I'm wrong.
exist.
I've been told that I'm wrong. No, yeah, that's true sometimes,
Yeah,
but not
like,
always.
For the account, for the Captain Blunder account, I bought a hyperdrive bundle because I was always super curious.
That's
if it's
cool.
Worth it.
That was a good
Super worth
pack
it.
that they have.
I really need to do a follow-up review on now that I'm 3 months into that account. Is it worth it? And
so you started it. So your YouTube channel. So I don't know.
Captain Blunder, check it out.
If you're listening and you don't play mobile games or this game, then this part's gonna be very boring. But it is because it's like really gonna be inside baseball. But
we won't get into the weeds too much.
Whatever.
We'll see what happens. All right.
Again, no one listens to this except for you, and if you watch it, then you'll know what we're talking about. So, but okay, so we've been playing this game for like 5-6 years.
You started like just when it took me almost a year to get into it because I just kept saying I don't play mobile games. I don't play mobile games.
Yeah.
And then I got the flu, and I was trying to play actual video games at home, and I couldn't. So I downloaded it, and I instantly went, "Oh, this is actually really fun."
Yeah. No, I think I got it like a few months after it came out.
Yeah, because
I've been playing since the beginning.
You started earlier in the year, and every time we were at Mike's, you would show me and try and tell me. And I was like, "Man, I don't play mobile games." And then I started playing and went, "Holy shit, this is great."
Yeah, and then so now we have like this crew of, like some of it's comics, and then some of it's like my stepdad,
my brother.
Yeah, your brother.
Yeah,
a lot of Steves.
Couple Steves.
All the extra characters, all the not comics are Steves pretty much.
G-Man.
I know they're not, but
I miss
he never
G-Man.
talks though. We're in his group chat and this guy just like lurks.
They're in different guilds now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, like we've been playing this game and like so you started a new account because in the game it's like the longer you play, the more like leveled up shit you have. But you're like starting a new one to show people like what they should do if they're starting, which is a good idea because and then you've had traction, like you have success now.
It's really weird. Yeah, I do. But yeah, that was kind of the idea was... The initial idea was more... no, it was kind of, I was going to be like, here's a roadmap for new players, but I was also just morbidly curious. You know, the game's been out for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I went, is it even possible to be a new player at this point? Because I had also...
There's a lot. I'm in a group, a Facebook group of like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and most of the posts in there are like, what do I do next? Like, there's a lot of people who just started.
I need to get in there.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve Lee added me to it.
Yeah, I should.
He like randomly messages me and he's just like, "Did you do this thing yet?" And I'm like, he always asks me like weird shit and I'm like, "Why would you think that I would do that?" I don't know. I have friends like that.
Yeah.
Like AJ DeMello will send me stuff and I'm just like, "What are you talking?"
Wow, you get friends who message you shit? I don't talk to anybody anymore. It's you and JoJo does it. JoJo, if you're listening to this, answer my goddamn text, you monster.
Yeah, JoJo's a hermit. He loves COVID. He loves it. He's like, "Oh, I don't have to leave my house. Perfect.
Yeah,
I can just plug my face into a Super Nintendo and get my dick sucked once in a while." That's all that JoJo wants to do.
Yeah, one of my roommates, when everything hit, his job shut down everything.
Yeah,
and they paid everybody 10 weeks of pay, even though nobody was. Yeah, he was ecstatic. Didn't come out of his room till 4 p.m, stayed up till 6 a.m. He was having a blast.
I don't understand. Like, I can't I need people. Like, I get energy from people.
Yeah.
I can be alone. Like, it's good to be alone sometimes, but I also just, like, if I'm running outside, like, working out, I run harder and better if there's people because I'm like, oh, I got to show up. Like, I don't know.
Show off to the stranger.
Yeah, it's not even, it doesn't even make sense. Or I guess it makes sense, but it's just,
yeah,
it's like motivation. That's why, like, I think that's why people like to write at Starbucks. Does he not know where you put your arm?
I'm not sure which look. I'm looking in the camera. I'm like, I kind of like that.
What looks cool?
But kind of,
this looks cool. But
letting
then
your hand hang, just chilling.
Only one of us can do this at a time.
Yeah,
though,
exactly.
or
Right. You afraid to hold hands?
Oh.
That was
Oh,
that was
shit. What
weird.
the hell? Oh, I reminded myself to get
We'll
gas.
do it. Oh, okay.
I have to go to Chico tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Roast battle. I don't know if it's sold out, but you can
Oh.
go if you're watching. You can go back in time.
Yeah. What?
This is probably going to come out on Tuesday or something. Or maybe before that, because I'm supposed to do another pod. Anyways, where were we?
COVID, going outside, not under. Yeah, just
we
not
were talking
seeing
about your
people.
YouTube channel, not seeing people.
Yeah, you were talking about running. Just being around people helps, and I'm of that same opinion.
Oh yeah, and then JoJo. Yeah, we were talking about.
But
yeah,
that's been my hardest thing. One of the hardest things for me to deal with COVID was just the fact that I quit my career of 9 years of working in work comp because I knew I wanted to go back to school.
You hated that job.
I really did.
You would talk about it.
I didn't realize how much it was really affecting my mental health. And then
I feel like it created like this world, this life for you where you had a wife who hated you and 2 kids that didn't talk to you. But you didn't have those things, but that's like the energy you brought from having that job.
It's really weird looking back on who and how I acted about 2 years ago and how much I've changed since then.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize those things. It always kind of stuck in my head that I knew I was doing this job that I didn't like because it paid really well, but all the money that I would earn from that job went to things to help me forget that I hated my job.
Right,
and
like Nintendo stuff or video games and like beer.
Yeah, expensive trips, just buying things on a whim, just doing all these things as an excuse to keep doing the job that I knew I hated.
Golden handcuffs.
Exactly. It was total golden handcuffs. And then it was in the last year that I was there that I had, I was about half the age of everybody working there, but I was doing more work than them. I had.
Just imagine you around like the people that I just described your life being, like they all actually have like a wife that hates them or a husband, and they're just like.
They were all great. Honestly. The last place I worked...
I don't know why it's so funny, like, just to imagine middle-aged people who are like, my life sucks, I just think it's so funny.
It is kind of, and that was one of the things I had that led me to quit my job was... Yeah, so I noticed I was doing more work than people. Like, I had inadvertently become...
You weren't fucking enough?
No,
Not doing enough people.
No, don't shit where you eat. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
That's not a good idea.
No, I had just...
You're doing more work than hanging out people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember you were like, you stopped doing comedy for a while, but it wasn't because you didn't want to do it. It's because you just were tired.
I was just stressed out all the time.
Right, yeah.
And...
Then you like tried to come back and you were doing stuff, but then COVID happened. Right?
Yeah, so I was coming back a little bit more because I felt like going out. But yeah, so I had quit my job basically because I had when they were giving out raises and they told me what my raise was going to be. And I countered them saying, like, I had... documents and stuff showing this is how much stuff I do now compared to everybody else. And they said...
You were like a Slack picker-upper, weren't you?
I did so many things. I had inadvertently become the company-wide expert with contacting Medicare to deal with these lien issues. It doesn't matter what it was. But I was...
No, let's get in the weeds. Come on.
I was just continually...
I won't fall asleep.
They would basically Medicare... went under a different branch of the government or something like that. Like it was under new management.
Yeah.
And Medicare just decided...
Thanks, Obama.
Definitely during the Trump administration. They basically decided they were just going to do blanket-wide letters, boilerplate, basically say if anybody on Medicare now has ever had a workers' compensation claim, we're going to halt their Medicare benefits and until... we hear from these work comp companies about injuries that happened 20, 25 years ago that have nothing to do with their current thing. And I would get calls from people saying, Medicare stopped my benefits. They said I have a work comp claim. I haven't had a work comp claim from 1992. And
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to be like, I was just a baby then. And they're like, you're handling my claim?
My son is older than you.
Yeah, no, for real.
I'm a grandparent.
For real. It was, but anyway, so I had just become the most successful at telling Medicare, here's why. You need to unhalt
So you deserve
their benefits.
a bigger raise because you have expertise now.
I would get calls from people in different offices saying, how do I deal with this? How can I send you
like
what
other
I have?
branches of your company?
Yeah. And I had even spoken with one of the VPs saying, if you guys want me to do this, I'm more than happy, but I need you to take some of my caseload off me because I get, in a given week, I probably get about 6 hours of people contacting me trying to help them. I'm not getting anything.
And then you're not getting your normal stuff done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I told them that, and they're like, no, we're not going to do that for you. And I went, okay. And then when I said, I think I have earned a higher raise, and here's why. And they went, well, you're young. You'll be making more money than them when you're their age. And I said, no, that's not how interest and inflation and cost of living adjustments work. I am doing this work. It doesn't matter what age I am.
Yeah, and also like fuck inflation and shit. Like if you're good at something now, you get the money. Like
Exactly.
that's how a free market works,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and that was the unfortunate thing was it was also the best company I had ever worked for. They treated me really well. They were very understanding.
Yeah.
Even when it came to mental health stuff, they knew I'd get really bad anxiety, and sometimes I'd call and just say, I am sitting in my car and I'm shaking. Like I can't come in today. And they go, absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally get it. So knowing that in my industry, the only way to actually make more money is I was going to have to go to a new company. I didn't want to do that. And so I thought about it, and I just weighed the pros and cons of going back to school. And then I remember the last thing I thought was, could you keep doing this job for 30 years, knowing that you'll have a great retirement package and everything, and you'll have all this money and you'll be able to live? And then all I could think was, what is the point of hating the next 30 years of my life if it means for the last 20 to 30 years I get very comfortable? So I decided, screw it, I'm going back to school. I've always wanted to pursue this engineering degree. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And even one of the things they tried to do, because they were very much trying to keep me there and trying to work with me. And they said, oh, what about, we could actually help pay for your school if you stay here, but you're going to have to do night classes or do it online.
And you're already stressed and hate your life, so do you want to get to the point where you actually want to kill yourself?
Exactly, and that's what I told them. The only thing I will do is if you guys let me work 3 days a week. Let me work 25 hours, I'll work.
Right, yeah.
I think I even said I'd be willing to do up to 30. I'll work 3 10-hour days, but then I need those other 2 days off so I can go to class and everything. And they said it's not possible. And then I went, okay, I'm gone. And because even my boss, she was like, you haven't thought? I was like, do you really want me to do a half-assed job here? And she said, yeah, I'd probably not like that after I know the kind of quality you put out. I said, yeah, I got to go. And now I'm somewhat loving it. I hate taking classes online. So that's what I guess I was saying.
But that you couldn't have seen that coming. I mean, no one.
Right.
You
everything else happened at the perfect time where everything was falling into place.
Yeah.
But I never wanted to take school online. I'm one of those people where I have to go. If I go to the place, mentally
you're immersed in it.
Exactly.
If you're in your room on a video, it's like your phone's there, your roommates, the boring walls around. I don't know, like whatever. It's like it's just not.
There's so many things that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty disciplined, but it gets to the point where I think it was the last actual in-class semester I had. I would have these 12 to 14-hour days, but it didn't feel that bad because I would go to class and then I'd have a 2 to 3 hour break. So I would go to the cafeteria, eat, go to the library, do all the homework I just got from that class, go to my next class, then I'd have a dinner break for another 2 hours and do it again, and then I'd go to my last class. So it felt like the day was really broken up. I had these places to go to where I knew I could study. I wasn't going to be bothered. I wasn't going to hear my roommates having fun, going, oh, I wish I was out there having fun, but I got to do more calculus.
Yeah, you're in an environment where everyone else around you is doing the same shit.
Most of them.
So it kind of like reinforces, but there's something about that like it's like being in a school of fish and you're a fish. You're like, we're going left now, we're going right. Like it's just important. Like it helps you, and not everyone is like that, but I know I am.
Yeah, I totally am. I mean, I'm very disciplined at doing all these things, but it's still I find my mind wandering and just sitting in your room for 8 to 14 hours, depending on how long it takes you to do everything.
Yeah.
It's just exhausting.
Yeah, and then like you were saying when you got here, you're also doing your YouTube videos and video games, like whatever other things you're doing, and it's like
sleeping in there.
So you're using the same like window, the same computer, and you're like looking at that, and then you're like, all right, time for fun stuff, but you don't change your environment. You like go to the same, you're like in the same, you're staring at the same thing, so it just all runs together, and it.
Yeah.
I would get like such bad like eye strain, and I would get headaches all the time. Like,
I
got migraines. I would just start to like see shit, and I'd be like,
yeah, I bought blue light filter glasses while I sat at the computer, so it helps.
Yeah,
it really does help. But yeah, it's just like I told you, I had a week, 2 weeks ago, I think, where I had to email all my professors and said I cannot work this week, and I know it sounds like a bullshit excuse, but I'm just really stressed out with all this, and Yeah, I can't. And they all understandable, totally cool. Turn
Uh-huh.
in your stuff next week. It's fine. We get it.
That's
Yeah.
cool though that you have really understanding professors like that.
Well, I also think it's funny because there was something
I guess with COVID, everyone's more like, I get it.
yeah.
The due dates are different.
Yeah,
and, you know,
but even just having, if you're going to school, all 12 of you listening, and build rapport with your professors. I highly recommend it. I remember my first semester, I got made fun of by some new friends I made because I would actually say good morning to them and I was like, oh, how was your weekend? You know, just being a human being, because that's kind of what I learned in being in a business world for 9 years, is if you make friends, they give you leeway when you need it. And people would be like, why are you brown-nosing the teacher? Why are you doing this? I said, watch, it's going to pay off. And there were so many times where I'd walked into class and our professor said, oh, turn in your rough draft of your essay. And I went, fuck, I didn't do it. So I walked up to her and said, hey, I wish I had an excuse. I didn't. Thought this was due next week, not today. I don't expect you to give me any points, but could I email it to you tomorrow morning or something? And she was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Just turn it in. Because they liked me.
Yeah.
It's one of the funniest things.
So the teacher's pet thing is not as bad as it is portrayed in the films of Hollywood.
Don't like overdo it, but treat everybody else as a human being and just be kind to them. And then it turns out people are nice back to you. There were so many times I had late essays, late papers, lab assignments that I should have done that I didn't. And because I was just...
And you didn't lose points on that stuff, or...?
I think there was only one professor that said, I'm going to take 10% off your grade. But yeah, you could turn around. I was like, yeah, that's totally fair. Your rules.
You're like, I'm getting an A+. I stand by my work.
Dude, I do. I've gotten honors every semester, so apparently I'm smart now. I actually just give a shit.
You know what Parker Newman told me? We met up to write, and he goes, "You look like a guy who does finger guns." To me.
Hey, Parker Newman, I still do finger guns.
What's funny is I do it. I do it half ironically, but I do when I don't know what to do to someone, like when I'm saying goodbye or something, I'll just be like. So he was right. He was 100% right.
I like doing finger guns.
Yeah, it's fun. Shooter McGavin.
But yeah, what are we talking? Yeah, isn't that what I expected? Yeah, the COVID year's just been weird.
Yeah. But back to your YouTube channel though.
Yeah.
So I forget. Are you doing? I don't care if we get into the weeds of the game. Because to me, this podcast is my philosophy is it's like Joe Rogan, where I have someone over and we talk. Dude, I hate that. People have this thing where they're like Joe Rogan and they go, oh, Joe Rogan.
It wasn't. No, I have a weird dislike relationship with Joe Rogan.
Well, the thing is but
he's not bad.
There's nothing wrong with him. It's his fans.
Yeah,
his fans suck. He has bro fans who just go, yeah, I'm gonna be a hunter and but
I do have to say
he's not hateful. He's liberal. He's cool. He's normal. He's thoughtful. He has interesting guests on. Yes, he has Alex Jones on. I don't know what the deal is with that.
That was actually a very interesting episode. I very much liked it. And great memes came out of that.
I think, and I haven't listened to that one, but he had Tim Dillon on with it. So with him. So that way it's they're just shit. They're making fun of him probably the whole time, I assume. But my point is it's just
it was a good format.
Yeah.
The way he did it, he's actually pretty personable.
Yeah.
When he wasn't being a know-it-all douche.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
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 No, I mean, there are times but it's like anyone. We all have moments of I'm shittier today or I'm cooler today.
Yeah.
It's and people don't remember that. They just go, oh, I interacted with a bro one time and he quoted Joe Rogan and now I hate Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
And I'm like,
get over it.
Have you listened to the show?
He's had some really good episodes.
These are amazing episodes. He has tons of different people. It's not like they're all hunters or shitty guy. It's
he gets great comedians on.
He had this lady that was her name's Valentine Thomas, and she does free diving and fishing. So
cool.
Her whole life is just going around and eating delicious fish that she catches herself.
Yeah.
And she's all about sustainability and all that stuff. She takes amazing photos of her ass underwater. But I mean, it's there's really cool episodes where you find shit out. He has Neil deGrasse Tyson on. He has Elon Musk on. And Elon Musk can be douchey, but also he's like anyone else where it's there's facets of him that are great.
He is our Bruce Wayne. He's going to be a little bit crazy.
Yeah. I think he is more like Tony Stark where he's eccentric and douchey, because Bruce Wayne's more that's a fake act. That's not who he really is the Bruce Wayne. But anyways, my point, so the podcast, my philosophy is just I have someone on and we just talk and we go. So like this episode can be like a fight episode where like it's like, I don't know, Brian Callen isn't the good example because
not anymore.
Yeah. But when he's on, they end up talking about fights like the whole time,
Right.
or boxing.
Right.
And I don't care or know about boxing, and I hear about it. I'm like, that's kind of interesting, but
I like boxing.
Well, yeah, but it's like I don't know the names. I don't remember the fights. I've seen like 2 boxing matches in my life, and it was probably the Olympics, which is never the good boxers. So my point is, if you want to get into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, I don't care, because you can skip this episode and watch the next one. So
Don't.
The YouTube channel.
Yes.
Is it, because I thought, and I might be misremembering, I thought the goal was like not to use the hyperdrive bundle or to be free to play, but then did you change it and now you bought it? Because the hyperdrive bundle is like $100 pack and it unlocks, it instantly levels up like 40 characters? 65 characters, like almost all the way, or like to a pretty good level.
To level 80, 5-star.
Right.
And
5-star? Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's pretty good.
But then you still have to 7-star a bunch of them.
So the thing I really wanted to do with it, because I wanted to do 100% free to play it at first, and
but it's boring probably, right?
I had quickly realized because I had to look it up too, because I was curious, because that was one of the things I forgot was, how long does it take you to get to level 85? And I looked it up, and people were saying it's going to take you 4 to 6 months, depending on how hard you're going.
Yeah.
And I went, I don't know if this is what I want to do. Because I also want to show people, look, these are the teams you really want to go for and start moving forward. Because the other thing I had thought about was, this game isn't linear like it used to be. Because when we started playing, there were, 90 characters? And
like the meta of the game was like Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul and stuff
God,
like that.
When you would have Wigs was like the first thing. You just needed Wedge.
That
Biggs.
was not the first one though. Like I
remember.
remember.
No, I'm talking about before CLS even came out.
Yeah,
when it was
Commander
like
Luke Skywalker.
if you had Wedge, Biggs,
just skip
Lando,
ahead if you don't like this. I don't care.
Lando, Leia, and then I forget, I think it was maybe Akbar or something, but it was like that team was really good because they're always getting health back from Wedge's lead and all that, and then
like that was the team I would use in like phase 2 of the tank, the tank raid. And I remember I have like photos saved in my phone of like, well, look how much damage I did. I would send it to.
And now we're clearing entire raids by ourselves if we wanted to. Vince isn't allowed to do phase 1 of the Rancor challenge because he can solo it.
Yeah.
But
which I want really quick, the Rancor challenge raid is the laziest shit. When people complain about not enough content in the game, that is the example that I would go to. That they were like, we're not going to make a new raid. We're going to take an old one and just make it really hard.
So the only comment I have about that is, do you remember how much everybody complained when the Sith raid came out?
Because it was hard, but it was new.
Yeah, it was a whole new raid.
Different thing, and I think people liked figuring out the puzzle of how to beat it.
And I mean, that's kind of the same thing now. We've got this new challenging raid.
But like
that is rehashed from the old one. I get that.
It's like
I get that idea.
It's like if they re-released a character and it was like the same model and the same look and the same moveset, but they were just like, now you have to upgrade this one, and then when it's stronger than the last one. Can you imagine like if they re-released Biggs and you had to
Dude, if he had a bigger mustache, I'd fucking do it.
Exactly. He had a slightly bigger mustache and he was a little bit more powerful, more health, all of his stats were better, but they were like, it's the same guy. And then when you get him, it's extra strong. Like that's what this raid is. It's not real content. And I know, like I know I've done this rant like so many times, and like I know one of our friends, I won't name them because I don't know if they want that out there, even though no one watches this. But
probably still respect anonymity.
Yeah, but they work there, and so they tell us the inside stuff, like oh, this is why this is hard or this is difficult, or. But also I'm like, they have a decent studio, and the game. What did the game make $1 billion last year?
I think that was total gross from when it was first launched. Not in just a year.
But it's making good money.
Yeah, they're making money.
And so, to me, I'm like, you can't, like, do a new territory battle.
To be fair, they have 3 laptops to share. That is. I do
I've
like.
seen The Office. I know they moved, but I applied for a job there. It's pretty. It was a good sized office.
I got a tour of the last office. It was nice.
It was very cool.
Decent. No, I wish I had answers. Part of the thing that I constantly have to remind myself is this is a mobile game. This is not my entire life. I do.
Oh yeah. That's true.
I do completely understand wanting more content because it has been 5 years and people are still coming in. That was one of the weird things when I made my channel was I wasn't sure how many new players there are. There's tons. There's tons
so
of people
many
jumping in, especially with the economy changes and getting like the double shards now for older characters and all that. But
but they have to for the new people so that when the new people come in, they're not like, when am I ever going to get Darth Malak? Like you just can't get if you have to like normally upgrade the original like the easy characters.
Mm-hmm.
Then like what's the point? You're never going to get the cool stuff.
Yeah, you're not going to catch up. And that was one of the reasons that I decided to do it.
And that's like another one of my gripes that I've had for a long time is like they have made it easier and I appreciate that. But I just for the longest time and even now still kind of you like in order to get like General Skywalker, Darth Malak, Darth Revan, Jedi Knight Luke, like all these characters, you can't get them the first time without spending an exorbitant amount of money. And what I mean by that is like if you get a video game, typically you get the game, the whole thing, whatever, you pay like $60. Then there's DLC. When you pay for DLC, you get the whole thing. In this game, a new thing comes out. If you let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you want to get Darth Malak, like when he came out, the amount of shit you have to upgrade to get him, it like costs you $1,000. I'm not being facetious. I'm not over exaggerating.
If you're going from
$1,000,
nothing, you don't have a single shard for the character. You don't have any gear on them. Yeah, realistically,
even if they're like, if you have like all the necessary characters up to let's say level 80, let's say you hyperdrive bundled all the Old Republic characters.
Actually, if you
and they were gear 8, you would still have to spend so much money to get all that gear, to get all the crystals the shards.
The only Old Republic character that comes with the hyperdrive is Bastila Shan. You have to get everybody else.
Yeah. So when you think about how much crystals that costs, if you wanted to just get it, when a new character like that drops, if you're not fully, even if you're halfway there, it still costs like $1,000.
Yeah, if you
it's
want
fucking
it instantly.
crazy.
But with the changes to legendary events, and now that they are open all the time, except for Jedi Knight Luke because he's brand new.
Yeah.
In that one, I get that they were going to put him on a 6-month cycle, and then they add him to
and
the
that's
roster.
That's how they always work.
But they did it with Beskar Mando. The brand new Beskar Mando, they're like, yeah, you can do it whenever you want. You don't have to wait 6 months.
He's also not that great of a character, from what I've heard.
No, yeah, that's why I'm going to be doing a minimum requirement video for it because I didn't want. There's only 3 of the characters that I actually really wanted for the requirements. But no, and I get that 100% because it's frustrating, and it was funny because that was one of the things I was thinking for the first character was could I go for the Revans immediately?
Yeah.
With getting the pack. And there are a couple packs for Knights of the Old Republic characters that will give you the shards. Like there's a $50 pack you can buy, and it's just like, here's just, I forget what it was. It was like 100 and something shards for each of the characters. But then there are crystal packs that you have because you can only buy it once.
Those are the ones that I have issue with.
So you'd have to buy those crystal packs, which are a gamble. And when I did the math based on the projection, I was going to have to spend, so it would be $100 for the hyperdrive, and then about it was $50 for that one pack, and then likely $150 worth of more crystal pack for KOTOR to get the Revans. But you would be able to do it day one. But yeah, it's that thing of, I'm not spending this much money on a mobile game. Like, I'd already spent $100, which I had to...
But people do it.
I had to reason with myself and even tell people in the video, look, this is why... Like, if you want to do it, this is the rationale of why I think it's worth it. Like you said, if you buy a game, it's $60. If you want the DLC, it's another $30 to $40. That's $100 right there.
Yeah.
But and that's another discussion I want to have. Video games really should be $80 and just come with the DLC. Stop dicking me around. Stop telling me...
But comparatively, I would much rather be dicked around there than in this game. And again, like, I know it's a free-to-play game. I understand that, like, when you play this, you can play totally for free and never spend any money. But also... I would be totally fine with like spending $60 for even a year. Like just like every year
Yeah,
having to
saying
re-up.
like this is my membership pay for the year.
Yeah, and then when like General Skywalker comes out, I don't have to spend months fucking trying to beat this mode that's super hard.
The gas event.
Yeah, the event to get him, or just or like a new character. They announce these characters, and then they're like, all right, and so you need all these characters, but you also need these 3 brand new characters that you definitely haven't farmed yet. And if you want to get them up to 7-star, you have to refresh your crystals so many times that you're gonna be spending
refreshing your energy
to 1,000
crystals.
Yeah, like when they announce like and I know their Galactic Legends is a big deal, but like still, they put these characters out and they're like, so you have to have Grand Moff Tarkin and this guy, or not Tarkin, Piet, Admiral Piet. You have to get like Admiral Piet. Like there's like 2 or 3 characters that are brand new that like there's no way that they're 7-star yet.
Eternal?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's just something I was gonna say that I got lucky a few times, just because there were characters that like before the legend characters had come out, I got lucky with like I remember when they released Bosk and I went and Embo and I went, oh,
you already did Bounty Hunters. Yeah.
Yeah, I had some of the Bounty Hunters going, but I was like, I want Bosk because he's Bosk and he's super cool. So
and he ended up being a really great character.
I got them all to Gear 12 just because I said, screw it. I like the Bounty Hunters. I want them. And maybe a week after I got everybody to Gear 12, they put out the announcement that, hey, Chewbacca is coming into the game.
Yeah.
And you need
so
Bounty
you got
Hunters.
him like the first time.
I was one of the first people to get him. And because I remember the day I was sitting at work just going through it. Just like, I got to beat this event. I got to go through it.
I think I got him the first time, too, because I was also kind of into Bounty Hunters.
Yeah.
And I had him pretty good.
Yeah, or...
The one that I'm really stoked about, the one that I really got the first time that was awesome was Jedi Knight Luke.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Those
were some tough requirements, too. Like some of the characters, I went, you got to be kidding me! I don't want to do this.
Like Wampa was
worth it though.
He is worth it,
R3 Wampa's
but
great.
He doesn't work with anything else. He's just like a weird plug and play.
Oh, you can use him against Geos.
Oh, really?
I mean, not the only one, but yeah, if you're not doing a hard,
can you do a solo with him?
I imagine depending on their level, and if yours is that...
Because if they ability block him, and then he can't do the days with his AoE...
You have to be fast, is the thing. If you're going to... Yeah, that's running the... But no, like usually, I've been able to 3-man a full Geo squad using EP, Vader, and Wampa.
Oh.
Like, they pretty much just mow them down. They don't.
So you
allow
like
them to
stun
move.
them and ability block them with Vader.
Yeah, you're stunning them, ability block, merciless
Yeah.
massacre, and then Wampa's just ground pounding
Right.
and dazing all of them, so they're not gaining bonus turn meter. They're just sitting there, and you're getting to take all these extra turns because hopefully also your Emperor Palpatine is just shocking all of them, so increasing debuffs, and also he's getting bonus protection and health or not bonus health. He gets
and they
stacking
can't
health
recover
from that.
health. Do they still distribute their health though?
Anytime an enemy makes a move,
Yeah.
they equalize all their health. That's what makes them really painful to deal with.
Yeah, but but the health pool does go down, and if they're not getting turns, then they can't.
Yeah.
The Brood Alpha can't summon a new one.
Exactly. So if you get the first move with Vader and you just Force Crush, then Merciless Massacre, Culling Blade, Geo Brood Alpha, like it's gonna be over actually pretty quick.
Yeah, because once the alpha's gone, they suck.
And if you really need some bonus help, then you throw Thrawn in the team. You can still format it, but yeah, Wampa
I usually just do Traya because it's easier.
Oh yeah, that's the easiest. Absolutely. Yeah. I just forgot about that. Yeah, you totally.
That's all she is to me because I have no reason to relic her, so I just leave her at Gear 12. I would like
I
to
do Scion, but the rest of them are like not yet.
Yeah, because Scion's useful with Kylo Ren if you have him,
and with Sith Eternal.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If he gets
if
he gets the cockroach mode on, then that's really annoying. You know, and he gets like a redo.
Held by hatred.
Yeah. He gets like a second life. And then it's like, oh, now I have to go through all of his health because if you health him up really good, then he's just really hard.
It's like, everybody at home, put your boners away. We get it. This is really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the cool, also I figure a lot of people listen to this podcast. If they do, they get like 20, 30 minutes and like, all right, I get it. And they stop. So this is like, if you're here still, first of all, comment down below and say,
like and subscribe.
Yeah, just comment that. Say that in the comments, and
Yeah.
then that'll reinforce people to do that.
Right.
But yeah, no, I've always had had like a weird problem with the economy of the game, like because like I get it, it's a business, and I don't fault them for that. but it is EA ultimately that makes these choices probably like how
they have to run stuff up the ladder.
Yeah. But then also like another thing that really bothered me was like they did the Beskar Mando thing. They did this thing. They have this new mode called Galactic Challenges or whatever, and they have like these little requirements you have to go through and do stuff. And it was just like they did some stuff that was cool where it was like, oh, this is player friendly. And then they put out this Galactic Challenge like right after the Beskar Mando guy came out, and it was like the only way to get a full clear is to have him 7-star ready to go and do the like
every other Galactic Challenge. You need to have Beskar Mando to get the full thing.
Yeah,
to get the full potential loot box or whatever it's called at the end. Which I get that frustration.
Well, because that's like so disingenuous. It's like because I forget what the good thing was. They did something good that everyone was excited about, and it was really cool and nice. And then they did that like the next day, and it was like, what the fuck? Like you don't temper like do something nice and then just leave it so we like you more.
And some of them are really funny too, because I was talking with our friend that works for them.
Yeah.
And we were just talking. I mentioned I was like, I get the frustration because the last maybe it was 2 ago, but the challenge was for Sith, and the whole challenge was stun your enemies 30 times. And I told him it got really frustrating because I had leveled up my Sith so much that I can't stun them if I keep killing them.
Yeah.
I just murder the shit out of them.
Well, that's where it's like a puzzle, and that's where that mode is kind of cool.
I was trying these different teams. I was like, well, this guy can stun, but they don't have the Sith moniker, so I can't put them on there. Okay, let's look at this one. And so that's where
he's like Dooku, right? Because he stuns on his basic.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was like, oh, put Royal Guard in there. Oh, he's not a Sith. He's just an Empire character.
Yeah.
Okay. So I get all those frustrations and everything, especially with
Beskar that one's okay because that one is like that's a puzzle. That's gameplay. That is like I'm trying to figure out how to do this with what I have. Beskar Mando is like you can only do this if you spend literally $800 right now. That is 100%. That's factual. What I just said.
I have yet to pay a single dollar towards him.
No, but when they did it like the day he came out.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I guess that's so like I could see how that's bullshit.
And the other thing is, and like, look, I know there's like different businesses, companies that do whatever they want, but like I look at someone like Microsoft, and Microsoft is like doing this cool shit where they have Game Pass, and it's like not that expensive. It's like, and you get all these games, you just get to play them, and they're like so nice to the players. They're helpful. They're like they're competing with Sony, so they're trying to be.
But also, Microsoft is the company that invented paying for an online subscription. So fuck off, Microsoft. Nobody did that until they started doing it.
Yeah, but
which
to be
was
fair,
ridiculous.
No, but it's like you know what you're paying for. I pay $50 for a whole year, and I get this thing.
All I'm saying is it wasn't that way until Microsoft realized, we can force people to have to spend an extra $60 a year for this. And Sony at first went, we're not going to do that. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
And then after like 2 or 3 years, they saw the revenue Microsoft went and like, fuck it, we got to do it too.
Yeah.
Nintendo's the only one doing it right. $20 a year, you get the virtual console.
Yeah, but you know what? They don't have like a chat system that works. So you have to like call your friend on the phone to play multiplayer.
They actually, you have to download an app.
Exactly, it's bullshit. That's why it's $20.
It's kind of dumb.
Yeah,
I think the other thing with that is Nintendo is still doing we're the relatively family friendly gaming company, and I'm sure they were worried if we have online chat, we're gonna have full-grown adults, me, playing Mario Kart, yelling "fuck you" at an 8-year-old for throwing a blue shell.
Yeah, but then you just have like
welcome to Mario Kart, bitch. Fuck you.
Yeah, but there are ways around that stuff. Like there's parental controls. There's things you can do that I think Xbox and Sony have that the Nintendo can just copy that, and they don't because they don't care. I don't know, but all I'm saying is like I just appreciate companies that like they say here's a thing, you can pay this to get it, and then the value is there and you get it. And so like that's what frustrates me about this game is I don't know what I'm like if I spend $100 on crystals and then I go to those crystal packs or the shard packs that are like 500 crystals and you get anywhere from 3 to 145 shards. I don't know what I'm going to get. Like, that's bullshit. You should be able to just buy the thing, and when I spend this many crystals, I get this many shards. And I want to just know that. Because that's the thing, like, I actually appreciated about Arnold for a long time, and I still do, is
The
that he
whale
does
fail.
he does like an unlock thing, and he sits there and he unlocks a character, and you get to see how much it fucking costs.
And on average, it's $300 every time.
Yeah, it's $300 for one character.
I agree. It's a lot.
That's insane.
I totally agree.
That's like more than you should spend in 2 years of playing
I know,
a game.
and that's why whenever I see people do that, I just go, "You're playing the game wrong, man." But it's also they know the game is not for impatient people because impatient people
it
will
just
buy
feels
this stuff.
predatory. That's what I don't like. And I think if you charged, and I'm not an expert. I don't know. Like I haven't done the research, but I feel like if you just charged less, but you had to play the game, people would do it, and then you would still make the same money, but then it's more fair.
I've also always had the thought of it has to deal with scarcity. Because could you imagine if some of these characters, when they first came out, everybody had it? And it's like, well, great.
Yeah.
If everybody has it, it doesn't mean anything that I have it now.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's the part I always took from it, but I get the other side where you're saying, yeah, but why do I have to spend $300 to get this character? Because even if it was $50 and they said, hey, $50, you can get the whole character, I'd go, no, I'm just going to farm them. I'll take my sweet-ass time.
Yeah.
Because I'm also late enough in the game that I'm like, whatever, I don't care.
But like, I would do that once in a while. Like if it's, I wouldn't do that for like Droidica. But then Malik or
no,
Gas.
don't do that with Droidica because he's on the same node as Xanadu Blood.
Yeah.
So it's a great node.
Yes. But I'm just saying, like as an example, because I remember specifically an Arnold video where he unlocked Droidica and it took forever. But
it does take a while.
But like, it's just like, I would be down to pay $50 for like a really cool, like a Malik level, or even like a Revan, like or a Padme.
Not even getting the full character, but here's the 5-star unlock.
Most of it, yeah.
Now you got to spend your get one to get them.
Yeah, I don't like that system though, because that takes forever. And then like, what do people do if they're not in a guild that's good? Then you just never get the characters. Like, there's just weird shit like that.
Oh yeah, and
we're like privileged being in this guild we're in. We're in like a really nice guild.
Even the guild Captain Blunder's in.
Check your privilege, Mark.
I've been asking people in my last couple of videos because it was something I didn't think about. I got into a guild where they're already simming. They're only at 125 million GP total, and already simming the pit and HAAT. So I'm just getting free Han and Kenobi shards without having to do anything.
Yeah.
And then it dawned on me, and I'm trying to get. Unfortunately, until I'm a YouTube partner, I can't make a poll. Which I was like, this is dumb. Just allow me to ask my viewers, hey, should I be doing this thing? Which was asking them, should I be doing the pit to show you what we should be doing in there, how to get some points? Because mostly I was just going to throw
what
CLS.
you have to do is you have to ask, and then they have to comment, and you have to just read the comments.
I had one person actually answer and go, yeah, I would like to see how to do some damage in the pit. And my whole thing was going to be, this is one of the reasons why you want to get Commander Luke Skywalker. You can solo the entire pit with him at Gear 12.
Don't forget about Jyn Erso and Tebow and Thrawn.
That was actually my original team of getting through because they actually do crazy turn meter manipulation throughout the pit.
Oh, 100%. Because Jyn, like, she has a move that just removes all the turn meter.
And gives it to herself.
Yeah, so then she just gets a turn, and then she just cools down her move, and she keeps doing it. And then if you use Thrawn, he slows it down, and then Tebow will, like, all the time.
Yeah, Thrawn
and then Qui-Gon is another one.
Yeah, Qui-Gon you could throw into the team because his special, one of them, reduces turn meter.
I think his basic might even do it.
Yeah, it could be that. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things you can do in there, and that was the other thing. I was like, shit, I haven't done the pit in years.
But those old tricks, like if you played the game long enough, you remember that shit, and that's what could be valuable about your channel is the knowledge of like I remember doing this.
That was exactly it. So yeah, look at when I was saying, should I go free to play? Should I get the hyperdrive? And the reason I went to get the hyperdrive was I basically went, look, I need to start at the point in the game where I can actually do things so I can figure out what to tell people what to go for.
Yeah.
And I even managed, I have a bit of an advantage because I bought this pack, so I get these things that make it a little bit easier. But after analyzing it, you should totally be able to do this.
And like, it would be boring to watch your channel if you're sitting there, like, slowly unlocking the Phoenix Squadron and the Rebels and, like, the shitty First Order characters. Like, it would, like, why? No one wants to watch you unlock the TIE Pilot. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like for days and days.
Yeah, and that was that was one of the things I thought was it was going to be boring for the first couple months, and it's not going to be very helpful. And then also me just thinking about, like we said earlier, the game is no longer as linear as it once was because there were only 80 or 90 characters when it first came out.
Yeah.
So every time new characters came out, we already had everybody else, and we were like, now we're going to collect this character, and now we're going to get this one. Oh, this person fits into this team.
Exactly.
Now you can go wherever you want.
You could start you could go Rebels and get R2 or you get Thrawn, R2, Emperor,
which is the
Palpatine,
route
all
I
those
decided
things.
to go because I thought you could get the most characters out of it who have viability everywhere. And of course, I've had people telling me I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo.
That's good, though. That's interaction. That means that gets you clicks and stuff. I actually have
to say there was somebody who really shat on my early game farm guide, saying this is not viable. You should go for Geonosians when you start. And it took me 3 days to not respond because I think I even showed you guys like the first response I wrote down was just suck my ass. Because fuck you. You got a better idea. You make a whole YouTube channel and try and help out new players. But I finally sat down and I said, look, these are the reasons why. I don't know if you watched the whole thing, but this is the reasons why I think this is good, especially if you buy this pack. And all these different game modes that these characters will help you out in. And he and I ended up having a really great dialogue about why you would do that.
A lot of times, that's all you have to do, which is why the internet sucks sometimes. Because like Twitter is just people yelling at each other one-sided.
As Nate Bargatze said, Twitter is just a website for celebrities to tell you you're living your life wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, or Mark Norman had a good one the other day. It was something like Twitter's where you go to fake caring about shit.
Yeah.
Or to show how it's just...
I haven't been on Twitter in years.
Yeah.
I only went on to look at Donald Trump's tweets because they made me laugh.
Yeah, and now he doesn't even exist anymore on there. I don't know if I agree with just erasing someone like that. I understand the reason because he was like fomenting rebellion.
He was literally inciting people to storm the Capitol.
And that's very bad. And I don't... That. No, I know, but I'm just saying what I don't know if I agree with is just like this private company that has all this power just deciding, you can't talk. It's just weird.
But we live in a society where everybody screams about if it's your company, you should be able to do whatever you want with it. You have the right to refuse service to anybody. Yeah. So they invoke their right to refuse service to a person who was very hateful. Yeah. But because I agree about censorship, I don't feel like people should be censored for their thoughts. But we live in a weird time where things are weirdly different, and the internet is this place for everybody to congregate and do these things. So I get when you have somebody that's that popular feeding into people who just blindly follow and agree with him. And it's fun. And I also do see the irony because they're going to see from their viewpoint that everybody else is doing blindly following. How do you know the science is real? Because I'm in school. Anyway, yeah, I agree. It's weird. It's weird to.
It's just a weird thing. It's like how do we do this fairly? Because Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, like these things are getting so big that people get like power and influence with them, but they're privately owned companies. So then there's like a cabal of, people like CEOs or whatever that decide things within the company, and they're not elected officials. No. So it's like we don't decide. And I mean, you could argue whether or not elected officials are really like we're just electing the lesser of two evils, right? Like politicians suck, but like at least that way we chose that person. But the people in Twitter who are deciding stuff, we didn't choose them. They're just people that got there.
Yeah,
and
I
they
want
get
to speak
to choose.
Mr. Twitter.
Yeah. But it's like, at what point do we have to make Twitter like a public service, or do we ever do that? It's just a weird, right? It sounds crazy.
I know, but I was just thinking of like it's a public utility. You got to pay your Twitter bill every month.
It kind of is though, because it's becoming this thing where everyone uses it, and you get banned or in trouble for things, and you're just like, well, wait, why did I get? Like I shared. Tom Segura had a video where he was like filming Bert Kreischer in the shower, but it was his butt. There's no dick or anything. But it was just like a funny video where he's like, and I just shared it in my story because I liked it. I thought it was funny. And then Facebook banned me for 24 hours because I shared nudity.
Bastards.
And it's like, well, first of all, asses is okay. Second of all, like
Only if it's a man's ass.
yeah,
Apparently, it's like nipples.
girl asses are okay too.
No,
but
girl asses are preferred from my point of view, but
I know.
I'm just joking that like, you can show a man's nipples, but not a woman's nipples because
that's
we're
so
cool
silly.
with you sharing these beheading videos on Facebook, but you show a nipple, you're done for, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. If there's a beheading, like a violent video, it just goes, "This is sensitive. Click to see." So you click and see it, and it's violent. But you can't
it's a
do
man
that.
dying.
Why
Wow,
can't you do it with nipples?
I'm eating cornflakes.
Yeah, yeah,
I was expecting titties, and here I got death.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like an interesting thing to think about. I'm not saying like it should be one way or the other, or like Twitter needs to be public,
No, I
like
agree.
public, like a governmental entity. But it's just a weird place to tread. And obviously, like I'm not agreeing or condoning Donald Trump's tweets. He's a fucking R word. He's an R word of a person, right?
I agree that the precedent,
like
the precedent of censoring any person to the point of just blocking them on this public forum, I get that it's worrisome because you go, well, if we're gonna start there, well then where can it go? And it's like
jump into a slippery slope argument, and it's like
which I hate those fucking like don't play devil's advocate, don't play slippery slope. Tell me what you're fucking thinking.
Sometimes
we'll talk about this like an adult.
Sometimes they're valid because that stuff does happen sometimes.
No, and that's where I get when people say it's a slippery slope with that because you're going, if you're censoring this, then when this, but it's also those same people that complain. Oh, I don't want my child learning about evolution in this textbook at school. It's like, so you're censoring your child from these things.
Totally, yeah.
It's like it's the same thing.
And
we all have these double standards.
Evolution is a factual, scientific.
It's still technically a theory, but it's the best theory we have.
That's true. But
it's like a lot of things. It's like when I've heard people say gravity is just a theory, I'm like, you explain it better. You explain this shit better. I dare you. I think double dare you.
I think it's like the theory, but it's like we know that a bunch of stuff when it's gathered, it attracts more stuff.
Mass attracts mass.
Like my hand has gravity. It's just like not enough to make you stick to it. But we're stuck to the ground because below us is like quadrillions of tons of earth,
and because
and liquid hot magma.
No, I thought about this. And we have all of that. We can thank for all of that. I don't know why my brain's not. We could be thankful for knowing those things because 400 years ago, when we were in a similar situation with a global pandemic was happening, a man decided, hey, while I'm basically isolated, I'm going to figure out calculus, and I'm going to invent this shit.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, Sir Isaac Newton.
There was a pandemic going on? Was it the black...
It was.
The plague, really?
During the plague, yeah.
Isaac Newton's from back then? He was in the Dark Ages?
1600s.
I thought the Black Plague was in the Dark Ages.
I always forget the bubonic plague.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the 1618 to like 1621. Was like the big years, I believe.
I want to Google
Quote me
this
on
now.
that. Jamie, bring that up.
Okay.
But yeah, the point was, if you don't know and you're listening, Sir Isaac Newton actually he came up with calculus because the math and I think there were two other mathematicians at the time.
You're way off. 13 the Black Death period was 1346 to 1353.
Okay, so what was happening in the 1620s? What was
It does say Great Plague of London 1665 to 1666.
It was before whenever it was.
Let's see. When did Isaac Newton
invent the apple?
Invent calculus.
Yeah, there we go.
1660s.
Oh, okay. So I was off.
But you were right. Like you just had the wrong plague in your head.
But yeah, so I think there was a French mathematician.
Dude, how come neither of us came up with math during this pandemic?
No, that's what I was joking. So, because I was last semester I was in calc for the first time, and my running joke was, "Fuck Sir Isaac Newton. That motherfucker got what he deserved of dying a virgin for inventing calculus."
Did he die a virgin?
He did.
What?
Yeah.
That's sad.
As far as I'm aware, but I was
Dude,
joking
I would
about
go back
that.
in time and fuck him just so he's not. Just like to help him out, Just be like, look, I know I don't have tits. I don't know if you're gay or not, but
have you tried putting your dick in a thing?
He's like,
you
I haven't
the first fleshlight.
He's like, I haven't measured the force.
Yeah.
I need to know what angle. Yeah. I need to make some calculate. No, just fuck me,
Dude,
okay?
That guy did crazy shit.
Here's my asshole. Fuck me.
He was basically quarantining himself. But yeah, so I would joke about that, and then I thought about how crazy is it that almost 400 years ago, this guy invented this math that we use to this day.
Yeah.
For very advanced things. And during my time in isolation, I made a pretty cool island in Animal Crossing. Like,
Yeah.
That was really it. No, I mean, I've done a lot of other things, but yeah, it's just gotten
That
the
could
better
be-
part of an AA.
That could be like a solid bit for stand-up.
I've actually, it was like one of 3 jokes I've written
Yeah,
during
yeah.
quarantine. I was like, oh, that's actually a pretty funny idea.
Dude, I've written so many ideas down. And then some of them are like bits that worked like in the few open mics that I've been able to do.
Yeah.
So
I think the only other joke I can even remember off the top of my head was reminiscing about I met a porn star at a concert once. But the funny thing was I didn't even recognize her. I recognized her boyfriend. And like I saw him and he saw me and he was like doing that. He was like, "Do we know each other?" And I kind of went like that.
Well, who was the boyfriend that you knew him?
I don't know his name.
So how did you know that he was the boyfriend?
That was the funniest thing ever. Was looked at her and when I was like, she looks kind of familiar. And then I looked at him and I recognized his beard.
Was it like from
things.
her social media that he was in it or something? Like you followed her on Instagram?
No, I don't follow her on Instagram.
But how did you know that it was him? Or like, how did you know what he looked like?
Because he's been in her porn videos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, surprise!
Who's the porn
I watch
star?
porn every once in a while. Everybody, it's crazy in isolation. But yeah, and so I ended up talking with him, and he was like, "Do I know you?" And I was like, "No, I'd recognize that cock anywhere."
I've seen
though.
your dick. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I recognize that cock. I don't know, but yeah,
Because his dick has the same beard his face does. That's why.
Yeah, no, and so yeah. Anyway, that was like the only other joke that I wrote. It was like meeting them. And it was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing ever.
That's cool though.
But no, that was like the only other bin. Yeah, I had to change it up.
If you want that as a tag, you can have it. By the way,
Alright, I
the
might.
dick beard thing.
Yeah, I might try
I don't
that. But yeah, no, I haven't like written any bits. It's been weird because yeah, the thing I've been doing for the last almost year is getting the better part of a
Engineering degree.
yeah. What is the first an Associates of Science? That's what I'm getting now.
Is it an AA? Is that? Oh no.
AS because
I didn't even know they had that.
yeah, I mean yeah, because then I'll get a bachelor's of science just because I'm in all these math and science courses, so it's like that's what you're gonna get. I don't know the whole thing. It's still so weird to me.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean, it's good that you're doing it because like you want to and you're doing it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I know a lot of people can't do that because they have commitments, they have kids, they have things. But it's like if you can, like, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're gonna die. Have a good time.
That's why I decided to do it. It was also that thought of like I don't have any of those commitments.
Dude, part of the reason I was able to buy a house is because my dad didn't live that way. Like he literally was always saving for the future. He was saving for
Smart.
retirement. It is smart. But he didn't enjoy himself.
And look who got to reap the benefits.
It's fucked up. I want to joke. I want to talk about it on stage, but I also don't want to go up there and be like, I have money. Like,
yeah, no.
because my dad is dead.
You have to find that right balance of like how to present it in a way.
And I'm
where
not
you're
like a
bragging.
rich kid where it's like I have a trust fund. It's just like my dad just didn't like. And then he bought like a bunch of Tesla stock that like when my parents, when they got divorced, like my mom actually made more money. So like he got money from her from like her work or her pension or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then he just like put it all into, he had like almost 800 shares of Tesla. And like my sister and I split it. And so like, yeah, I mean, that's part of it is like the Tesla just did really well.
Yeah.
And so I also was like trying to write a joke about how like at the time, like before he died, I was working at the state and I hated it. And I would just constantly like wish for winning the lottery. And I'd be like, I played Monopoly at Safeway. I would buy lottery tickets. I was just like, how could I get out of here?
And then you had the genie's wish with the fucking
yeah,
claws
the
in
monkey's
it.
paw.
Yeah.
And my dad died, and then like, whoa, here's some money. Like it's not like millions of dollars, but it's like
supposed to be this way.
Yeah, yeah. So like, I want to do some kind of joke where I'm just like, so if you want someone dead, I'll wish for money for you, and then someone will die. Like,
Hopefully leave you money in their will.
Yeah, it wasn't even like Will. It was just like we're the next people. Like he.
Yeah, because your dad wasn't very old, I assume that he didn't have like a full will set up, and
Well, he.
it would make sense that like the estate falls to your sister and you.
Because it would have gone to my mom, but they were divorced. But
Right.
I mean, they did write wills when we were kids. I remember, and then I remember like asking my dad about it, like just like an innocent question, like, "Oh, what happens?" And he was like, "Why? You want me to die so you get my money?" Like I remember being in the car with him, and he said that, and I was like, "No, I just wanted to fucking ask you about this." He was so weird.
Yeah,
but
no, my dad straight up told me when he and my stepmom got their wills done, he was like, "Oh yeah, you and your brother are just gonna have to split everything and figure it out." And I'm like, "Ah, don't give me a chore after you die."
Your brother seems cool though. Like I bet you guys
He's
would.
pretty cool.
You wouldn't be like dicks to each other about it.
No, we're pretty agreeable about
like,
stuff.
My sister and I were really just like, yeah, down the middle. Like let's just.
That's exactly what we're gonna have to do. It's just the weird thing. My dad, he was an amateur hobbyist paparazzi when he lived in L.A.
What?
Yeah,
Like
it's actually really cool.
Was he like taking photos of like Anna Nicole Smith?
Yeah, but he wouldn't he wasn't selling the photos to newspapers or anything. He was just keeping them for himself because he just
to jerk off to.
No, that would be. How could you jerk off to a picture of William Shatner? And I don't mean like.
Hey, he's a beautiful man.
No, I'm not talking TOS Star Trek era. I'm talking Boston legal era. Those are two totally different Shatners, but
he kind of like when he was in that show, he sort of froze, and he's looked like that ever since.
No, he looks really good for being 90 years old.
He's like literally 90 now.
Yeah, he's the same age as my grandma.
I think I've seen him in a couple things recently, and I'm like, okay, I can finally see the age on him.
Yeah,
but even then, he looks like an 80-year-old, not like a 90-year-old.
I actually ran into him. I think it was 3 years ago. Something like that. My uncles live in Sherman Oaks, and apparently so does he. Relatively close, and they had told us.
There was ranches with his like 85 horses.
Yeah, not that
whatever.
ranch. My brother and my dad have been to that ranch, and they met him there. And they seriously said they rang the doorbell, and he came out, and they.
What are you doing here?
But yeah,
hello.
But no, so
look, I'm busy, but I'm making eggs. Do you want some?
Yeah,
I've got a lot. I have 85 eggs.
He just
everything I have is 85. I don't know why.
But yeah, my uncles had told us, oh yeah, there's a couple famous people that live around, whatever, you might see them. And there was a cupcake place very close to where they live, and my brother and I walked down there to get.
And there was Grimace from McDonald's. I like the idea that it's just he's like a real person.
Yeah, it was the Hamburglar was there of all places. I was like, don't you want hamburgers? He's like, I'm over that. We
saw him at a taco place, and we were so confused.
Yeah. But yeah, so my brother and I are just there, and we turn around, and fucking Shatner's there, and we're like, "Oh my God, you're William Shatner! What are you doing here?" He's like, "Well, I want to get some cupcakes." Like that makes sense.
Did you like talk to him for a minute? Was he?
Yeah,
cool?
I didn't. Yeah, it's one of those weird things when you meet a famous person and you're kind of starstruck, but also in your head you're saying they're a normal person. They just want to go about the day. Don't make a big deal.
Yeah.
Just go, hi. Oh my God, this is awesome. Have a great day. So yeah, I was trying to talk, but yeah, I was like, part of my brain was like, you like cupcakes?
I like the episode where you fight the lizard man in the suit. What was that like?
I was just thinking that, the Gorn.
That must be the most annoying question he gets.
Yeah, I didn't want to. You ever be like, I actually met you when I was 3 years old because my dad took me to the Star Trek convention and you were there and you're really cool. Yeah.
I've met over 1 billion people in my life.
Yeah, you probably has, but
I saw him once also, but it was just like it was at one of those the Wizard World Comic Cons here in Sac.
Yeah.
And I just saw him like walking and I was like, there he is. And I think I was busy, like there was a wedding I had to go to or something was going on. And then like I didn't have a chance to go to his panel and I wanted to like see it. And then I was thinking about buying an autograph to meet him and shake his hand and stuff, but I didn't, and I kind of regret it because
I feel like everybody has that same. Because you go there and
it's like $80
exactly,
and it's like that's a lot. But
yeah,
you get to meet him and shake his hand. It's cool.
I feel like everybody should, if you have that hero or whomever, that you maybe think about splurging. Because I ended up doing that with Les Claypool, who's the bassist from Primus.
Right.
Yeah. And he was on tour with one of his other bands called the Claypool Lennon Delirium with Sean Lennon, who's the son of John Lennon.
Yeah. Dude, that guy's a douche. the way he talks on. I've heard him on podcasts before, and he's like he's like cringy.
He's
a rich kid. I mean, he has a weird.
He's
life.
very much like John.
His mom is Yoko Ono. Like, I get it, but I just have heard him. He's been on Star Talk Radio before, and he just like, I'm like, you're not a real person. Like, you don't understand.
He's very interesting, but
I'm sure he's cool. Like, I don't know.
He was very nice, but yeah, that was the they were doing the tour, and I had always said that I wanted to go do the VIP thing and meet them.
Yeah.
And then they were playing at Ace of Spades downtown.
Oh,
and I
cool.
said, fuck it. Like, I have no reason not to. Let's do it. And so I got to meet them.
You're working a job that sucks, so you take your money from it and you spend it on cool shit.
But it was $200.
Ooh, yeah.
But I got an autographed poster from them, a little goodie bag thing, VIP fucking, I mean, that didn't really do anything for me once the show started. And I got to ask them questions and do a whole Q&A. And I thought it was hilarious because there were 40, 50 other people with me. And they came out and they're like, who has a question? And immediately I'm the first one. I was like, I have 100 questions for you guys. I've been thinking about this for a month.
Was everyone else afraid to ask?
They were at first, and I started firing off questions.
Yeah,
it was like, so I raised my hand. I was the first one, and I forget what I asked them. I was asking them about their writing process, and they told me, and then they're like, okay, next question. Other guy and they're like, all right, next question. And I looked around, and nobody had their hand raised. I went, right here, dudes. It's like, I've got 100 more. Yeah. And Les Claypool went, maybe you should let a couple other people ask questions. And then people were asking these dumbass questions like, you have any podcast recommendations? How's your mom doing? What was the last good book you read that you'd recommend? I was like, what the fuck are
They're
these
just
questions?
Like pulling a question out of a words, like a Scrabble bag of like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah. And it was very clear because, I mean, I've been a musician almost my entire life, so everything I had revolved around like, what is like...
Yeah. Which they probably like talking about because even though that's all they do, they're also obsessed with it. So like, people love talking about their craft.
Yeah, because some people when they were asking like, "Oh, do you have any, do you have any podcast recommendations?" Which I was like, that's kind of a weird question to ask. I kind of get it, but then it started kicking my brain. I went, "Oh, do you guys have any bands that you're listening to right now that you feel like is really influencing your writing?"
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, yeah, like a lot of it's the same old, but check out this band because like we heard them and they've just got the sound to it and like we like this about it.
Yeah.
Things like that. Or even I'm sure people thought the same of me though, because I was asking, how much do you guys practice? How often do you guys practice?
Yeah. Well, because you also want to, it's like it makes you feel better or inspires you to do more. Because like you'll hear whatever their answer is, you're either doing that or you're not. And then if you're doing it, you're like, cool. I'm like, I have a chance. Like, I mean, they're talented, whatever, lucky, whatever they are. But also, like, I'm doing the work, or I'm not doing enough work. I need to work harder and get here. Yeah, that's why I love podcasts because you hear like about Dave Attell, or like you hear Tom Segura talk about writing, or whoever, or even Joe Rogan, right? And he'll talk about what he does, and like he has this process of like when everything's normal and he can do comedy, he went to the Comedy Store, he'd do a set. He'd listen to it on the way home. He would get home. He would write for like 2 hours, get high, just write. And so like he does that every set. He records every set. He listens to everything. So then you go, oh, fuck, like I am recording, but I never listen. And then you just makes you go like, that's what it takes to be that good.
It's so hard to listen to yourself at first. The first couple times.
Oh, yeah.
You hate the sound of your voice.
Yeah.
You hate your tempo, your cadence, your timbre.
But you get through it.
Yeah. You start
eventually
learning.
You do enough that you're just like, I don't care what I sound like anymore. Now, why am I saying like so much?
That was one of the biggest things when every time I would go back to listen to my recordings.
Yeah.
I would realize I'm saying like, and it's the equivalent of saying
you're
stalling. And it was one of those things that made me realize make your words matter.
Yeah.
If you don't have something to say, you can be quiet for a second.
It's
fine.
I'm saying fucking and I fucking way too much,
Yeah, same thing.
But you just have to do that enough that you get tired of you doing those things, and then you're like, okay, how do I stop? Or what? You just start to not do it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know,
you start being cognizant of what your body is doing.
Yeah.
Secondhand that you didn't realize you're doing and starting to control it.
Yeah. Like I did Vince's the other night. I actually had like a really good set for like, I was amazed that I got laughs from, it was all comedians.
Yeah.
And I have this premise that's old that's like, like, why do they call it the Last Supper? Like, it was just one guy's Last Supper. Like everyone else had dinner the next night.
Yeah.
They were just sitting around like, wow, last night got out of hand. That was fucking, and like it worked. Even you laughed just now, but I'm like, that's like a joke that I wrote like 3 years ago, and it sucked. But I think the reason it sucked is I used to open it with, I was reading about the Last Supper, and I think that the reason they stopped calling it that is that's when they started calling it dinner. And like that's a horrible dad joke.
Oh, holy shit! Yeah, you really changed that. I remember that.
But like the premise is funny. I didn't realize that I don't need to say the dad joke. I can just say that part. And then I riffed this thing of like, where they were like, this is bullshit. Now, like we have to, we have to like buy our fish and wine. And we don't just get free fish anymore.
Right.
This is bullshit. You know, like, I don't know. So
it's funny. When
I don't know where I was going with that, but
when you're going through the writing process, and you have to trim the fat.
Yeah.
And you see something like your premise, and in your head, that was the whole starting point of this joke. So you fight with yourself about, I can't cut that out because that's the premise of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like this is what launches into everything.
Or it was the seed, but the premise
Right.
you might not be identifying like what the real premise is.
Right.
Because the real premise is that it's silly that we call it
The Last Supper.
It's like, no, everyone fucking eats supper now still. It's like just because he didn't.
And yeah,
you know.
there's something mentally you don't want to cut it out because that was the birth of this whole bit or whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
So you don't want to cut it, and then
You need the time away from it to come back and be like, well, that part never worked. Why am I saying it?
Yeah.
And then you just don't say it.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But like you were saying with Tom Segura, actually recording himself and listening and rewriting and everything, and it really
Rogan. I don't know if Segura does that.
Oh, you said it was Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I
Okay.
listed like 3 names and then I said Rogan and then I
Oh,
launched,
okay.
yeah.
Because I was gonna say I thought it was funny when
I don't know. I mean, sure he records too, but I don't know. I don't really know his writing process.
I don't either.
Despite listening to hours of your mom's house.
I love Tom Segura, but
Yeah.
when one of the last times he came to Sacramento, I saw him at the Punchline, and what do we got?
An hour 14, and we
shit.
got like 15 or 20 minutes before that probably.
Oh, shit.
We're doing good.
Yeah.
I did a 3-hour and 20 or 40-minute episode with Carlos Rodriguez last year.
Damn, well that motherfucker can talk.
Yeah. It was fun though. I was like,
oh no, he will keep going.
I've always wanted to do a long one, so it was kind of cool to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't mind doing them. It's
a
like
lot of editing and
well, no, I don't really
Actually, no,
edit.
it is.
I only edit if something I said or the other person said was bad or we need to cut out like an address or a phone number, you know, like, which doesn't really happen.
Right.
So
Anyway.
yeah, I don't sit there and go like I'm going to edit the ahs and the ums out. Like no, it's just
No, don't do that. Oh,
it's not worth
I
it.
wouldn't do that.
I remember like Ben Rice told me he did that and I'm like you're insane.
Yeah,
don't do that.
That's way too much. I couldn't do it. But yeah. So when Tom Segura came, and I think he was working on Completely Normal. I'm not sure what special it was, but it was really fun because I think that happened to me with John Mulaney as well, where I got to see the act while they're working on it.
Yeah.
And these couple bits that was like, oh, that was kind of funny. Like clearly,
when you see the special, it's like
you see this dude.
Yeah.
3 months later, it came out, and I went, "Holy fuck! It's amazing."
Yeah.
How much that dude changed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and because I'm sure he does the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, you kind
Or
of
something similar.
There's definitely comics who don't record and they just know what they're doing, but I think
Yeah, that takes
most
a lot
people
of,
record and listen on some level.
I think that style of not recording takes a ton of self-awareness that a lot of people just don't have.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and then some people do the video thing, which is cool, but to me that's extra space on your hard drive or your phone. It's like you don't need the video unless you're like really physical and you want to see how you're moving and like maybe that's part of the bit.
I used to do that a lot at the beginning when I first started comedy.
Yeah.
Which I was glad because I didn't even realize I did things that were just distracting. And I wasn't even sure if it was distracting to anybody else, but I noticed every time I was getting ready to do a new bit or a new joke,
yeah,
I would pause and I would put my thumb up to my nose and scratch my nose. And I went, what the fuck is that? Why am I doing that? Stop it now.
Wait, what did you do? Sorry, I was checking something.
You son of a bitch.
I know.
I would pause
rude.
for a second and I would just do this nose scratch thing or I'd go like that.
Oh.
And it was one of the...
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, see, because in the first month, I had 2 or 3 videos of me doing that, and I went, gotta stop. Don't do that. Just go into your next thing. It was one of those physical things telling myself, all right, we're going on to the next bit, instead of just going on.
Yeah, I wish there's like a couple comics. But maybe you'll know who I'm talking about. I don't know if I want to say. No one watches. Doesn't matter.
We can keep the anonymity.
But I just noticed they always did this.
Yeah.
They like sit there and just like, and I'm like, what do you do? Like, why is your hand in your ear the whole time? You know who I'm talking about, right? Just two guys and possibly a couple others who do it.
They may not realize or realized at the time that they were even doing it. That was why I was recording myself at first, was wondering, what do I look like on stage? What am I doing? What are my mannerisms?
Yeah. Well, for me, I never really, I didn't worry about that too much. And then, I'm a video person. I like to film shit and get into like that. So eventually, early on, I was recording sets just to like put them on the internet or whatever.
Because we all thought it. Yeah.
But then you also, I remember like when I started, just being like, well, I don't want to burn my material. And now people are just like posting 2-3 minute clips everywhere. I mean, partly because they can't go do shows, but it's like everyone's burning their material on TikTok and Instagram. I mean, like Stephen Fury's entire all of his jokes are on his TikTok and his Instagram. If you want, you can just go watch them. And that's like,
he did get to do that tour with Bert Kreischer. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was weird to see his story and then just Bert Kreischer's there. Or like Bert Kreischer's story, and he's tagging our friend Stephen Fury.
I know. Dude's making fucking strides.
I mean, his name is on the Comedy Store.
Yeah, it's really cool to see.
Like, I remember seeing that video the day Stephen Fury got passed at the Comedy Store, and they announced it, and it was like Stephen Fury. Now I can't remember his name.
Bobby Lee.
No. It was.
He's just always there.
Roy Woods Jr., who at the time had been a Daily Show correspondent for several years.
Yeah,
and
Fury's fucking funny.
He is. But he's laser focused. The cool thing about him is I've noticed like his whole career, what he does is like he goes, I'm gonna achieve this and I will spend all my time on this. So like so he started like, I'm gonna be funny. Then he goes, I wanna get past the punchline. So then he just spent like a year going there, writing. He did like some weird thing where he wrote letters to the booker and like he's like, I wrote a pirate paper letter, I did this. I'm pretty sure I heard that on a podcast that he did. He had this weird thing he did, but he stood out and he was funny. And then he just put the time in. I mean, the talent part's important, but he put the time in and he focused and he's respectful. He gets the thing.
He's a very likable guy too, which like we were saying earlier about professors and everything, be a likable person.
Yeah, I guess he was just teachers petting the punchline.
He was making himself known for sure. He was putting it out that I want this. I'm working at it.
Yeah,
give me a chance, and they did.
And then he goes, okay, I want to get past to the Comedy Store. I want to be your paid regular. So he goes to L.A. He becomes a doorman, and then he's just funny. He's cool, and he hangs out, and he gets in there, and that's all you got to do. And now his name is in silver writing on the Comedy Store wall,
etched in there,
right next to Michael Keaton's name. It's fucking
next
crazy.
To Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Fury's got to step up his eyebrow game. Fury, if you're listening, you got to get, if you're going to be next to Michael Keaton, you got to get some eyebrow things going, man. You got to.
Yeah.
Love Michael Keaton.
It's just really cool. I remember seeing the video where they like drew it on there and I was like, that's my friend.
That's so cool, I know.
I mean, we're not like close friends, but it's my friend. I don't know.
He was in our guild for a long time.
Yeah, he's in our group chat.
Until he got shot out the airlock.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, he's not like as nerdy about it as we are.
I had tried to tell him, yo, you should probably find a guild that isn't so intense. Because it just doesn't seem to be your thing. And there's nothing wrong with having a regular life outside of this game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I also don't, I think he's just not the kind of, there's levels, right? There's like my stepdad who's like, he knows every character and how they work. And he can tell you with like, in 5 minutes, like, this is how you beat this thing. And then there's like, I think, like, you guys are kind of on that same level. Then there's like me, who I know a lot of shit.
I'm not even there.
But I'm saying like I'm lazier than all of you. But then there's Fury, who's like, I don't want to mess. Like, I'll just ask. He doesn't sit there and read like Wampa's Unique to see what it does.
Yeah,
to know.
We're also very interested in just the Star Wars universe as a whole.
Yeah,
like the expanded universe, especially. I feel like he doesn't care as much. I know he likes Mando and everything.
Yeah, he's like a surface level fan, which is fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like it's just interesting the levels. I guess I don't know where I was really going with that, but
no, it was more just one of those funny. I was like, dude, you've got a lot of stuff going on for you right now. You don't have to worry about like getting kicked out of this fucking Star Wars guild. It's a game. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
it's like it's whatever.
But it's still funny to me that he is into it. That he
likes the game. It's fun.
Yeah,
it is fun. I just felt bad that he was going for Malik for so long, and
I know.
he kept asking me, "What am I doing wrong?" And I told him, and then I said, "Dude, you're gonna have to."
It's like in person, it'd be so much easier. But
Yeah.
we're always texting in that group chat, so it's like you can't.
No, I told him
It's
if
much
he
harder
if he can
to-
screen share with me via Zoom or something, I could probably
Yeah.
lead him through. This is how you do it, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, that was God, Vince though. Yeah, that man knows so much about the game. And it's funny because now that I'm going back through, I'm finding myself actually reading the abilities of characters and I go, "Wait, they do what?"
Yeah.
I didn't even realize this.
It's just like I don't always have the brain real estate to dedicate to knowing those things. Like there's like just so many times where I'm like trying to figure something out and I was like, I don't want to go click and read what Emperor Palpatine's unique does, and then that's why General Skywalker's not working. Or like whatever it is, like you have to read those things to know, because like Skywalker, like one of the things he does is he resets cooldowns, or he takes away.
He does that if he uses his basic after he gets out of the meditation state.
Yeah.
If you use that
no, but he
first-
does it. He does it in the when he's not a leader, because it
Yeah,
happens all the time
He
in
doesn't have to be
arena.
the leader. So if his special abilities are on cooldown and he goes, "Oh, wait a minute, yeah," because that's supposed to be the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's in the meditation state. You come out. If he's only able to do the basic, it's an automatic refresh cooldown on your special
No, but
abilities.
I noticed like the thing happens when the other team goes first, and he does like his AOE or something. Then all my characters cool down,
Yes.
and then I'm like, what the fuck? And like I just didn't know why that was happening, and it was annoying. And it's like you just have to read the thing, but he's finding it now. I like how we got back to this. We can never not talk about it. I've had battles going on auto because it's the bounty hunter challenge thing.
I had seen. No,
we should probably wrap this up soon.
Yeah. I know you have stuff to do. So do I actually. This is.
I don't know if there was any threads we wanted to wrap up, but I think
it's-
we talked about stuff. I don't know.
That is it.
Yeah, let's do.
Wait, no, it's not. Deal physical damage to all enemies and daze them for 2 turns. If possible, this attack will critically hit.
It's one of the uniques. It's
I
not
know,
the move.
enemy. Was it?
It's not that one. Yeah.
Deals double damage. Yeah, it has
Well,
to be.
You
It
can
doesn't
find
matter.
me at
It
Epic Tiki
doesn't-
Comedy on Twitter, at Epic Tiki on Instagram. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, because my YouTube channel is not doing nearly as well as his.
You've got more subs than I do.
Yeah, but I don't like. It doesn't grow. It's like
Oh, okay.
I get like 1 or 2 every couple months, because I don't know. Like it just because you do. But I haven't had like any. Like most of these videos have like 20 views or 10 or 5.
I mean, I entered a market that needed somebody.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing.
The other thing I don't-
talked with our friend about it,
Yeah.
and I was like, it's so crazy because, like I said earlier, I had no idea if it was going to work, if there were going to be new players, and it turns out there are.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that the newer players have been telling me is thank you for going through and explaining things.
Yeah.
Because the veteran YouTubers who've been doing it, they say, oh, just do this, that, and the other, and that's it. But
Yeah,
they don't
get into the
realize-
weeds of how to.
Yeah, they don't
just kind of tell you
realize-
like go here and do that, but there's little tricks and tips you can have along the
they
way.
don't realize that these new players, like, they don't get all of that because there's so much going on in the game now
Yeah.
that we've had time to learn, and they don't. And
Yeah.
because I felt bad at first. I was like, am I explaining like they're 5, and is that belittling? Should I not? And then some people went, no, this is super helpful. Thank you.
I think mansplaining is okay if you don't force it on someone.
Yeah.
They have to seek it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe. What else do I want to say?
Finger guns.
I am going to be at Laughs Unlimited this coming Thursday.
Oh shit! What time? It is Thursday. Next
Thursday. It's Friday right now. On
Fuck.
February 25th, and this episode should come out before that. So go to the show. It's socially distanced. It's outside. Yes, it's cold, but they have leg heaters you can get from them. They sell blankets at the show. It's, like I said, it's safe. They have little pods to like protect you from the wind and keep you in your own little air bubble, kind of, so that it's even safer, even though you're outside already. You get silent disco headphones you can wear, which is really fucking cool because we talk into the mic. It goes right to your ears. You're not distracted by street noise.
The future.
It's great. I'm just doing one show. It's the Capital City Comedy Showcase that Wendy Lewis runs. So I'm still trying to get past it. Laughs. Hopefully that happens soon, but who knows because COVID makes everything weird. That's pretty much all I got to plug, I guess. Mark, where do people find your videos and stuff?
Check out Captain Blunder, Blunder, on YouTube. That's pretty much the only place you can find me anymore because COVID, and I'm just studying all the time, trying to become an engineer.
Cool. Yeah.
I guess.
Also,
like Luke, like and subscribe to Luke. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy who puts out really good fucking high quality content.
We should do like a collaboration video.
I want to.
If you want, you can just have this file and upload it to your channel. I don't care.
No, this is yours.
No, but I want that because then people will see it.
Mm.
Unless you don't want to. You don't have to, but I'm saying like I don't mind cross-potting.
I was going to say maybe zip it to me and I'll cut out like a clip of it and then I'll put it up on my page and say, "Hey, if you want to check out the whole thing, head over to my buddy's page."
Yeah, whatever you want. I noticed Mark Norman's been doing this thing where he does like these really small podcasts and they just give him the episode and then he puts it up on his YouTube channel. And so like I don't mind sharing cuz it's like, well, if they see it and they care, they like us, we talked a lot about SWGOH today.
We did talk a lot about what I found out sometimes is referred to as SWGO.
If you have an audience for that, I don't know anyone who will care. Our group chat might watch this. My stepdad might, but I also doubt it because we've been here for like an hour and a half. Yeah. Probably almost 2 hours.
It's like 1:30, isn't it?
It's at 1:28, an hour 28.
Oh no, I mean the actual time.
The actual time, yeah.
Yeah, it's 1:20.
Anyway. Yeah. So
yeah, no, we'll do the cross.
But we should do like some kind of video if you want, like a
No, I'd be down.
I don't know what it would be, but something
that was
Star Wars
after
related.
My roommates and I filmed the video of them slapping the crap out of me. I was like, "Oh, this is fun. I want to make like."
I also have not watched very many of your videos because I don't watch.
It's not for you.
Other people. Well, yeah, that's true. I don't really care about early game stuff because I'm not gonna ever do that. Like I'm never starting a small like a new account. That would drive me insane. You have like 3 accounts now.
2 accounts.
Oh, you got rid of one?
Yeah.
Okay. Or are you not supposed to talk about that?
No.
You want me to cut that out?
No, it's I don't play on that other account anymore.
Yeah.
It served its purpose and I don't it was actually really hard to let go. I know we're trying to wrap up. It was really weird to let go of that because I had put so much time and effort to build it up to the level it was at, which was like really good for how young
it was.
Like
as good or almost as good as your other one, right?
Yeah, it was. They were
your
really
main one.
They were really close. The whole point of that was I wanted to have another account where I was like, well, I can collect these characters that I don't have to help us in the raids because our guild was shit at the time.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, no, now it was like I finally let it go just because I knew I didn't have the time to devote to it and it was stressing me out, and I just went, okay, we're done.
Did you like bequeath it on someone? Did you give it? Oh, okay. So just sitting there.
No, that account dies with me.
Oh man, that's sad.
Yeah. But the whole purpose was to help us with.
I'm gonna write a will, and I'm gonna will my account away to someone.
The main purpose of that account was to help us in the Sith raid. Yeah. Because we needed to get through phase 1 and 3.
Yeah, 3 was.
And
bullshit.
I was like, well, I could get the same characters, and that's an extra 10% here and another 20% there. We'll be fine. So
yeah,
we did it. Don't need it anymore. It's gone. So yeah, 2 accounts. 3 was impossible because I was trying to balance all 3. Dude, it was so much. It was so stressful. So stressful.
Well, yeah. Well, all right. I'm gonna end this now.
All right.
But thank you for watching. If you did, but see you later. I love you.
I love you too.
Oh no, I'm talking to them.
Oh, fuck you.
No, I love you too. High five. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Nacho. Nacho, do you have anything to plug?
Naps.